Current affairs plays a very important role in your UPSC preparation. So please don't ignore current affairs. So try to read a national newspaper every day, and it will helpful to cover current affairs whatever it is happening around you. So understanding current affairs is very important. So for this we came up with this daily Hindu newspaper analysis. And in this today's lecture, we are going to discuss current affairs of 11th July 2023. So there are very important topics from the different subjects that we are going to discuss in very detail. So the first and the foremost topic here is artificial intelligence. So I think in 2021 and 2022 also there were a number of questions from this artificial intelligence in your mains. So even this artificial intelligence, from this topic you got essay as well. So this topic is important, and here you have to understand what exactly artificial intelligence is, and you have to see what are the advantages and disadvantages of this artificial intelligence. So this is the thing that is given in this article, and we are going to discuss that in detail. And this topic is important from your science and technology point of view. And second topic is women's reproductive autonomy. So actually, if you're talking about the reproductive rights, yes, women have the reproductive right. So women need to take decision whether she want to continue the pregnancy or not. So here taking the woman decision is also very important for our economy and for the health of that woman. Okay, because if in the stress, whenever woman is carrying the pregnancy, or whenever she is in the stress, if she is not willing, but because of force from the family, whenever she is carrying that means, so that will leads to increasing of maternal mortality rate as well. So because of this, women's reproductive autonomy is not only important at the individual level, but as a nation as a whole also, women's reproductive autonomy is very important. And this topic is important from your society point of view, which comes in the GS paper 2. And this topic is at most important from your mains. And recently, this pregnancy, that is medical termination of pregnancy, is also seen in news, because this termination of pregnancy had been banned in America. So because of this, so in the context of India also, there is a high chance of getting question in your mains regarding this topic. And next topic, it is about second moonshot. So this article which is talking about Chandrayaan 3 mission. So actually our ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization, it is going to launch this Chandrayaan soon on July 14th. So because of this, whether this is going to be success or not, so this is the big question, because Chandrayaan 2, which was a failure. So here in this context, you have to see what is exact Chandrayaan 3 mission and why this mission is important for India. And this topic is again important from your science and technology, which comes under GS paper 3. And next topic, it is about global south. So global south, it is not exactly based on geography actually, because there are some countries under this global south, they falls under northern hemisphere. For example, India and as well as China. But this global south, which is going to play an important role now. So because of this topic will be very important from your international relations point of view, which comes under GS paper 2. And next topic, it is about what were the events that led to riots in France. At present in France, riots are happening. So you have to know what is the reason. So the reason here is racial discrimination. So as you all know that even Mahatma Gandhi, he faced racial discrimination in South Africa, and from that time onwards, so we are trying to end this racial discrimination, but still there are some events that are happening across the world regarding this racial discrimination. So as a future bureaucrat, you have to think like what are the steps can be taken to solve this problem of racial discrimination. And next one is palliative care. So here, especially in this non-communicable diseases. So in diseases, we have two types of diseases. So first one will be communicable and second one will be non-communicable. So communicable means whenever you are communicating with others, like whenever you are talking, whenever you are touching, etc. So in that time, so the disease will be transmitted from one person to another person. That type of diseases are called as communicable diseases. For example, recent corona, right? And if you see, non-communicable disease means even when we are communicating with the others, so there is no chance of transmitting of disease. For example, hypertension, diabetes, kidney disease, liver disease, cancer, etc. So here in this non-communicable diseases, so we have to focus on palliative care. But in India, we are not focusing on this palliative care. So what might be the reasons? So please let me know the reasons, at least 2 or 3 reasons why we are not focusing on this palliative care in this non-communicable diseases in India. And this topic is important from your health, which comes under GS paper 2. And next topic it is about urea. So I think you might be knowing about urea if you are from agriculture background. So urea, it is a composition, okay, so it is a mixture of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So we are having a particular percentage of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium that is mixed. And why this urea is very important? So urea is very important for the growth of the plant, right? Because it is providing nitrogen, it is providing potassium. So because of this, yes, this urea is very much compulsory. But if you're talking about the production of urea, it is very low in India. So for urea, we are depending on the other countries. So now at present, we are depending on the other countries for the crude oil. In the same way, we are depending on other countries for this urea also. So now here government is saying that we are going to come up with a new scheme. So we are going to try some alternatives for this urea. For example, we have nano urea. So nano urea will be in a liquid form. Okay, normally urea that we are using in our fields, it will be in the powder form, powder and as well as crystal form. But now we are going to shift towards this nano urea because the efficiency is also very high and we can also decrease the transportation cost, etc. So because of some benefits, so we are going to use this nano urea soon. And this topic is important from your governance point of view, which comes under GS paper 2. And next topic it is about India-France relations. So our PM, he is going to visit this France. So in this trip, he is going to focus on security issues and as well as defense ties with France. So we are going to have Rafale, Scorpions, jet engine. So here this is very, very important agenda of this trip of Prime Minister to France. So here you have to open your atlas and you have to see where France exactly is located. And you have to see the different countries to sharing boundary. So in the last time here in the prelims, you got a question that is from map based question. So in this question they asked about the countries which are sharing boundary with Ukraine. So whenever any country which is present in news, so there is a high chance of getting a question which is map based, and there they might be asking about which is a river which is bordering that so and so country, and which are the countries which are bordering that country. Okay, so which is a nearby water body which is present, whether it is having opening to this Mediterranean Sea or Caspian Sea or Black Sea. So here you have to do some homework regarding this map based things whenever any country which is seen in news. Okay, so these are the topics now we are going to discuss in this lecture, so please be focused. And the first topic it is about artificial intelligence. So title of this article says Artificial Intelligence Disrupt to Economic Impact and India Shake. So this article is talking about, so there are disadvantages of this artificial intelligence. And if you see the central theme of this article, it says that with artificial intelligence becoming an integral part of global economy. So now in our global economy, artificial intelligence and machine learning, they become an integral part. So here now what is the need? So what is the way forward? So now our country need to focus on education and training in artificial intelligence rather than regulation. So rather than regulating artificial intelligence in India, so we have to go for education, skill generation or skill development, training in this artificial intelligence, so that we can maintain employment opportunities. So now let us try to see or dig deep into this topic. So if you're talking about artificial intelligence, what exactly it means? So artificial intelligence is nothing but it is a simulation of human intelligence. So here it is nothing but simulation of human intelligence. processed by using machines, especially we are using computer systems here. So nowadays we are using this artificial intelligence in our daily life. For example, you have this Alex, right? So what happened? So nowadays in our everyday life we are using this artificial intelligence. For example, in the future, so we are going to have authoring the poems, tipping us with the pickup lines and passing of toughest examinations, for example chat GPT as well. So here recent rise of large language models and generative artificial intelligence, they had sparked more interest in the progress of artificial intelligence across the globe. So recently one more development in artificial intelligence here is large language models and generative artificial intelligence. So they are the new rise in this artificial intelligence. And even chat GPT is also one important thing, and even it is one of the new thing that I can say. So if we're talking about benefits because of using this artificial intelligence, yes, of course we have some benefits. Like for example, it will increase the worker productivity, it will improve the consumer satisfaction, and as well as it will also lead to the better treatment of consumer service agents, and even it will increase employee retention time. Because what happens, so whenever we are using this artificial intelligence, so it is making our life easier, so there will be decreasing of burden on humans, right? So here if you see some experts, they suggest that generative artificial intelligence may not replace employees, but employees using this generative artificial intelligence, they will replace those who do not upskill. Yes, there is a threat of this artificial intelligence, that is losing of jobs, and that means nothing but increasing of unemployment. And even a recent survey which said that employees of LinkedIn tops 50 companies in US, they show that almost 70% of them, they found artificial intelligence which is helping them faster, which is helping them to make smarter, and even it is more productive. So these are the advantages of this artificial intelligence. So these are things which are given in this article. And if you're talking about what are the negative impacts of this artificial intelligence, so how it is having negative impact on employment opportunities. So here the first is labor replacement. So labor replacement will be happening, and what happened because of this, there will be increasing of unemployment rate as well. Because when we are using this artificial intelligence, so work efficiency had been increased, it will be fast, and there will be very less chances of mistakes as well. So because of this, yes, we are moving towards adopting this artificial intelligence. So if you see this image that you can see on the screen, so it is talking about different types of artificial intelligence, and you can see it later. And I want to add some more advantages of this artificial intelligence, and as well as disadvantages as well. So that will be very helpful to write a good answer. So the first and the foremost thing here is it will increase accuracy rate. So whenever we are using any algorithms to analyze the data, so then what happens, so we are going to have accuracy in the data. For example, it can be used in diagnostics, it can be used in predictions and decision making, etc. And next one is it will be helpful for improved decision making, because this artificial intelligence provides data driven insights, analysis, assisting informed decision making by identifying the patterns, trends, and potential risk as well. And next one is it will be helpful for innovation as well as discovery. So artificial intelligence which will be helpful for new discoveries and even uncovering hidden insights, and it will be also can be useful in the different fields like healthcare, science, technology, etc. And will be also helpful for increasing of productivity as well. So artificial intelligence tools and systems, they will be helpful for increasing of human capabilities. So whenever the human capabilities are increasing, automatically the productivity of the work will be increased, and output of that work will be also very high. And next one is it will be helpful for continuous learning and adaptability. So artificial intelligence systems, they can learn from the new things, and they can learn from the data and as well as experiences, and that will help for improving of the performance, and it will be helpful for adapting to the changes. Okay, and it will be also helpful for staying up to date regarding the trends and patterns as well. And next important advantage here is, so this artificial intelligence, it can be also used in exploration purposes and as well as space research purposes. And now let us try to talk about some disadvantages. So I also added some more disadvantages. So first one is, it will lead to unemployment, right? And there are also some ethical concerns, whether it is a potential or not. So whether there will be the invasion in the privacy, right to privacy or not. And also here there are some other ethical implications of autonomous decision making systems. And next important disadvantage here is reliance on data availability and quality. So artificial intelligence systems, they rely on data availability and data quality. And next one is security risk. So artificial intelligence systems, they can be vulnerable to cyber attacks and exploitations as well. And next one is, so whenever we are using and dependent on this artificial intelligence, so we are making ourselves over reliant on this artificial intelligence, and there will be lack of transparency, and investment and maintenance cost will be high for this artificial intelligence. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of this artificial intelligence. So I hope it is very much clear. And if you have any doubts, so please post your doubt in the comment box so that I will try to resolve your doubts. And next topic, it is about women's reproductive autonomy as a new catchword. So this article is very important. It is talking about women rights, women reproductive rights. So here the central theme says that families and communities prosper when women have the power to make choices about their bodies and lives. So whenever we are giving autonomy for the women regarding the bodies and as well as their lives, then what happened? So families and communities, they have the power to make more choices. So if we're talking about this women's reproductive autonomy, so the theme of this year World Population Day is unleashing the power of gender equality, uplifting the voice of women and girls to unlock our world's infinite possibilities. So they could not be more apt for India. So in India, here the world's population, so it's one of the most world's populous country. So here in our country, we need to focus on women-led development, be it in any field, for example, in science, technology, agriculture, education, healthcare. So we need to include reproductive autonomy. It is one of the important core thing. And instead of ensuring this reproductive autonomy for each woman, so here we are mainly focusing on total fertility rate. So if we're talking about total fertility rate, it is nothing but, so in the reproductive age, so how many children they are given birth by a woman, it is called as total fertility rate. So if you're comparing India, especially the northern part of India with the southern part, in southern part TFR is less compared to TFR in northern India. Okay, so here we have to even focus on family planning services. Okay, and we are focusing on ideal population size of a family, but as of now there is no correct exact numbers and as well as figures regarding to make country ideal. So if we're talking about population stability, which comes down when reproductive and as well as sexual health decisions, they are free of discrimination and coercion and violence, and reproductive and sexual health services are affordable. And next one here is acceptable, accessible, and as well as high quality. Okay, so here we have to focus on how can we improve the access for the women to these services. So here author says that we need much progress in this area. So as you all know that today is World's Population Day, so India deserves to be commended for its family planning activities. Despite of many challenges, the important aim of this family planning initiatives is to increase the comprehensive package of reproductive health sciences, and even we can focus on how to prevent this. How to prevent, like we can use some contraceptives and some preventive methods and counseling and services, including emergency contraception. So these are the steps that can be taken to decrease this total fertility rate. So India had already came up with a commitment, it is Family Plan 2030 partnership. And next one here is, if you are focusing on the new contraceptive options, so which advances women's rights and autonomy, which is leading to a spike in the modern and contraceptive prevalence as well. So here you have to see that if you want to give the autonomy for the women, so we need to ensure that there is a proper availability of healthcare services, and we have to ensure that women, they have the access to the affordable healthcare, and they have to have the access to the contraceptives, and even we have to ensure that there is a proper awareness regarding the use of contraceptives and awareness regarding the reproductive health of the women. So women need to understand what happens if they are going for immediate deliveries, and as well as immediate pregnancies after the deliveries, and how to maintain the hygiene, etc. And especially we need to make them available the family planning services also, such that we can decrease MMRs, that is maternal mortality rate, and as well as morbidity, and as well as we can decrease the healthcare expenditure. So healthcare expenditure is one of the important reason why families are going into the financial debt trap. Okay, so here Indian government's health, population and development programs, they have shown steady progress over the years. And even if you see the life expectancy at the birth, which has significantly increased in our country, because we are focusing on the healthcare services. And if you talk about current rate of maternal mortality, it is 97 per 1 lakh live births every year. Actually in 2004 it was like 254, and now we decreased that to 97. So since beginning of 2000, India has cut the number of child marriages. So whenever there is decreasing of child marriages, so automatically we can decrease this MMRs, and as well as neonatal or infant mortality rate as well. And here we are also focusing on access to the vital services, vital health services, including health, education and nutrition. So in these areas also government is focusing now. So we're talking about physical autonomy. As of now, women do not have any physical autonomy. So women, they continue to lack physical autonomy. So how can I say that women, they do not have proper physical autonomy? Because it is not my words, it is the words of a National Health Family Survey 5. It said that just 10% of women in India, they are independently able to take decisions of their own. And many women, they are facing marital violence as well. Okay, if they are refusing to have the sex with her husband, they are facing this marital violence. So this is the one wrong thing that is happening in our country. So nearly half of the pregnancies in India, they are unplanned. Not only in India but as well as in globally also, half of the pregnancies are unplanned. And advancing gender equality is not just about women, but it is also about the population as a whole. So if we're talking about our country, it is one of the most populous country, and we are seeing that there is a rapid population growth. And women empowerment we can do through education, and we can do through family planning, and in this way it will be bringing the benefits for the human capital, and will be leading to the inclusive economic development as well. So we're talking about what is the need. The need here is we have to bring gender equal society, gender equality centered growth, and we have to respect the rights of the women, and we have to respect the choices of women. And even we can increase the investment in the women's life at every stage, from childbirth to adolescence to maturity. Okay, so we have to engage women, girls and other marginalized people in the different areas. We can come up with the legislations, laws, policies and programs such that we can empower women as well. So this is about this topic in detail. And now let us move on to next article. It is about Chandrayaan 3. Title says second moonshot. So now let us try to see this topic, and this topic is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology. So please let me know, am I fast? So whether shall I take the class slow or not, or whether shall I continue this speed or not, because if I start class the flow will be continuous. Okay, so I don't know whether I'm fast or not. So please let me know in the comment box. So if we're talking about this mission, that is Chandrayaan 3, it is a moon mission. First of all, you have to have a clarity that this Chandrayaan, it is a moon mission, so which is launched by ISRO. So here India's third moon mission, that is Chandrayaan 3, it is a continuation of Chandrayaan 2. So this Chandrayaan 2 launched in 2019. So the important goal of this Chandrayaan 2, it is to go for soft landing on this moon surface on South Pole. So this South Pole is very important for your prelims. So the statements will be like in the North Pole. Okay, so this is in the South Pole. And we are going to have this launch on July 4th. So we're talking about this mission exploring moon surface and atmosphere. This Chandrayaan 3 will be launched by using Launch Vehicle 3, okay, M3 rocket. And the land rover configuration will be transmitted to 100 kilometers lunar orbit by propulsion module. And if you're talking about this mission, so we have lander module plus rover, we have propulsion module, and this Chandrayaan 3, which consists of an indigenous lander module, a propulsion module, and as well as a rover. So lander and rover, they will have scientific payloads to carry out experiments. So experiment carrying payloads will be present in lander and as well as in the rover. So this is also very important. And this mission, so what is the aim of this mission? To demonstrate a safe and soft landing on lunar surface. Okay, so this is about this Chandrayaan 3 mission. So what are the issues regarding this mission? So the first and the foremost thing here is this mission is very complex. Okay, so this mission is very complex. And even in Chandrayaan 2, why it became failure? Because of some technical glitches. So there might be again this technical issues in this Chandrayaan 3. So this will be also a challenge. And this one is stringent timelines. So Chandrayaan 3's launch timeline is very much crucial because it need to be launched during the lunar launch window. That means it occurs once in every month. And if there is any delays in this mission, so when a delay is happening means again we have to reschedule that mission. So because of this, that will lead to additional cost and as well as further delays, increasing of financial burden. And even because of this COVID-19 pandemic also, yes, there are some negative impacts on supply chains. Okay, so because of this, the manufacturing and testing of space equipments which may lead to further delays in this mission. So these are the disadvantages. So why this mission is very important for India? So why we need to focus on this mission? So first and the foremost thing here is Chandrayaan, we are going to put India on the map as a major player in the space exploration. So we have to showcase countries' scientific, countries' technological capabilities. So this mission which helped India gain valuable knowledge and as well as experience in the space exploration. And actually because of this Chandrayaan 1 mission, so we came to know that yes, water is present on the moon. Okay, so it has opened up the new possibilities for the space exploration, and even it also led for the resource utilization as well. So including the potential for the future lunar colonies and space mining also, it will be very much useful. So this is the importance of this mission for India. And next topic it is about global south origins and significance. So here you can see Africa is there, Asia part is there, here we have India. So this part which comes under global south. So this topic is important from your GS paper to under international relations. And now let us try to see this topic. And if you see context, it says that global south, it is not geographical. Why it is not geographical? Because there are some countries that are present entirely in the northern hemisphere. So how can we say that comes under global south? So this global south word is not a geographical based word, but it is a mix of political, geopolitical and economic commonalities between the nations. So we are focusing on political, geopolitical and economic commonalities. So we're talking about this global south, the unwillingness of many leading countries like, so we have countries like Africa, Asia and Latin America. So these countries, they are mainly not supporting this NATO, but these countries are supporting this Russia. So if you're talking about this global south, which refers to the various countries around the world that are sometimes declared as developing, less developed and underdeveloped. So actually the countries in this global south, they are developing countries or less developed countries and as well as underdeveloped countries are present here. So many of these countries although by no means all are in the southern hemisphere, but here two countries are present in exactly northern hemisphere, that is India and as well as China. So in general, there are poorer and they are having the high levels of income inequality, and they are also suffering from this life expectancy as well. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly said. And the term this global south, it is not geographical, because China and India, they are lying exactly in the northern hemisphere, rather than this global south, which is a mixture of political, economical and geopolitical politics or commonalities between the nations. So this is about this topic. And now let us see next topic. It is about what were the events which led to riots in France. So in France, riots are happening. You have to know what are the reasons, because in the last prelims you got a question regarding places in the news and as well as important cities, okay, where this some events they had happened. So in this context, this topic is very important. So title says what were the events which led to riots in France. So what were the events which led to riots in the France? So now let us try to see this topic in detail. So what happened on June 27th, Nahel Mirzok, a 17 years old unarmed French citizen of Algerian and Moroccan descent, was fatally shot by the police, and after being stopped for a traffic violation in Nanterre, and it is a western suburb of Paris. So what happened? So on June 27th, one person called as Nahel, so he is 17 years old and he is also facing some problem with his arms. Okay, so he was shot by the police after being stopped for the traffic violations. So finally here what happened, initially this police, they had been justified the actions they did. And if you see the violence that had primarily attributed to the young individuals, including minors and as well as migrants from the black and as well as Arab communities. So here this exactly we can say there is a racial discrimination that is happening. So over a span of 5 consecutive nights, here France, it witnessed widespread riots, okay, resulting in over 3,000 people came across with the nation, okay, from the nation across. There are about 3,000 members, they came forward and they did the march, okay. So here in response to these riots, mayors of affected cities, they organized the rallies, okay, and that led to the violence, looting and destruction of infrastructure. So this incident which also had brought to fore the extent of global polarization in the France. And even if you see the recent studies, they have highlighted the disproportionate targeting of individuals, and even they perceived as black or Arab by the police during identity checks. So during identity checks, so if they found that black or Arab, so they are going for the racial discrimination. So this racial discrimination is one important reason for the riots in France now. So these unrest frequently originated from societal challenges because of increasing of unemployment rate, because of poverty, because of discrimination, etc. And if you see the president of France, he's already facing some issues with the pension reforms, with domestic discontent over inflation, and even ongoing crisis. So now this president, he need to also face with this situation. So now let us try to see next topic. It is about palliative care. So the need for strengthening of palliative care in the face of non-communicable disease. So I explained you what exactly this non-communicable disease and as well as communicable disease with example. So now let us try to understand what exactly this palliative care means. So this topic is important from health and even from your science and technology point of view, and this topic is important from your mains, not from your prelims. So if you see the context, it says that India is home to nearly 20% of world's population. As you all know that India is the most populous country in the world, and out of this population, 20% of world's population, 2/3 of population, they are living in the rural areas. That means they are residing in the rural areas. So apart from a rising population, so India also has experienced a steep rise in the burden of lifestyle, which is related to non-communicable diseases. And nearly 1.4 million people, they are diagnosed with cancer in India. So 20% of world population, out of this 2/3 they are residing in the rural areas, and in that population 1.4 million people, they diagnosed already with the cancer. And every year there is increasing number of people who are falling under this category of patients with this hypertension, diabetes, and as well as respiratory diseases, etc. So here, if you're talking about this non-communicable diseases, to cure this non-communicable diseases, palliative care is very important. So palliative care is nothing but it is a branch of medical sciences. So it will be focusing on improving the quality of life, and as well as preventing suffering among those with the life-limiting illness. And even if you see, it is also focusing on identification of the patients who are at the risk of multiple medication or over medicalization, and how it is affecting the standard of life in that people. Okay, and it will also lead to increasing of financial burden on that people. So if you're talking about this palliative care, which aims that at improving the quality of life, so it is focusing on improving the quality of life by addressing physical, mental, spiritual and social domains of health of people, and also who are suffering from this life limiting diseases. So here, if you're talking about life limiting disease, that means diseases which are decreasing the lifespan of the people. For example, you can talk about heart disease or heart failure, kidney failure, neurological diseases. What happened? They will be limit the time which is present in your life. So here we're talking about this palliative care. So how many of them they need this palliative care? So especially the people who are suffering with this non-communicable diseases, they need this palliative care. So palliative care in India, which has largely been available at tertiary healthcare services, or it is mainly provided at this tertiary healthcare providers. So we have to improve the awareness, and we have to come up with this palliative care even in this private hospitals, and as well as in the primary healthcare centers as well. So due to skewed availability of services, it is accessible to only 1 to 2%. That means it is like 7.10 million people who need to require this palliative care. And if you see in this post-independence India, which has made some considerable efforts, so we took a lot of efforts to improve the health of its people, and a 3-tier health system, multiple national health programs and sciences, and Ayushman Bharat, and as well as health insurance schemes. So they all are some positive steps that can be taken towards universal health coverage. So we can go for 3-tier healthcare system, that is primary, secondary, and as well as primary, secondary and tertiary, and multiple national health programs, and we can focus on some schemes, etc., like Ayushman Bharat scheme. Okay, so despite of these efforts mainly taken by the government, about 55 million people in India, they pushed below this poverty line every year. Okay, so every year, why these people are going into this financial depression? Because of increased out of pocket expenditure, because of increased lack of awareness, okay, regarding significant role, how they can play an important role in decreasing of financial burden. So we're talking about institutions which are providing this palliative care in India. So we have NPCDS, that is National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Disease and Stroke, and now it had been changed to NPNCD, that is National Program for Prevention and Control of Communicable Diseases. So here in this they are focusing on chronic diseases, so where treatment contributes to the most of the health related expenses. And next one here is the disease progress to stage, where it is an ideal scenario for this palliative care as well. So actually this had been launched in 2010 to counter the rising burden of non-communicable diseases. So nowadays there is increased risk of this non-communicable disease in India. So because of this, yes, government need to take some steps to make this free, okay, make this free, and as well as government need to provide some basic healthcare facilities in this primary healthcare centers regarding this palliative care as well. So this is about this topic in detail. And now let us try to see next topic. It is about urea. So urea is very important. So without urea we can't go for development of the plants, and even what happens, so it will also increase the productivity in the fields as well. So title says import of urea may ease by 2025. So import of urea may ease by 2025. Alternative forms will replace it. So we are going to come up with alternative forms, okay, of urea. Okay, so now let us try to see the context. Our union minister for chemicals and fertilizers, so he said that we are going to come up with a separate and new scheme regarding urea, and the package of this scheme, it is estimated that 3.7 lakh crore for the farmers. So not for all the farmers who will bring these fertilizers. And here in this context, our minister, he said that nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium ratio should be in 4:2:1 percentage. Earlier it is 8:3:1 percentage. Now it is going to be 4:2:1. So if we're talking about some details, it says that the balance of soil has been damaged and the production has also been saturated. That means there is the starting of decreasing of production day by day. So why? Because there is no proper soil health, there is no proper human health, animal health and environmental health. So all these health, or all these stakeholders that I said, so they have connected to one another. So we have to promote one health package that we brought this scheme. So this is the thing which mainly said. So whenever we want to promote this health of plants and as well health of the people, so because of this we came up with this new scheme. Why? Because here farmers, they will go for overusing or excessive use of fertilizers. So because of this excessive use of fertilizers, so there is decreasing of production as well. That is 16% of decreasing of production. So this is a thing that we can see in live in Punjab, and also we can see there is a 10% of increase in the use of fertilizers in the state during the same period. So this is also one very important data that you can save, and this also leading to the deterioration of soil health. So whenever we are using the high amounts of this urea, so it will lead to the damaging of our health of the soil. So it is clear that the balanced use of this fertilizers is very important for the production and as well as for the food security, and it will be also helpful for the farmers to double their income as well. So the country, it is now moving towards natural farming and as well as organic farming. But if you see the case study in Sri Lanka, all of a sudden they move towards organic farming. So because of this, they have some issues here regarding this farming. So here our minister said that we cannot go for completely shifting towards natural farming or organic farming. So it will take some time. So we need to go for awareness as well. Awareness is also very important. Educating the people is also very important. And what is the alternative that we can use for this urea? So we can use alternative, that is nano urea. So that means urea which is present in the nanoparticle size. So here nano urea which is provided after all scientific studies by the several governmental institutions and departments, that will not harm the health of the soil. So if you're talking about this 500 ml of nano urea which can replace 1 kg bag of 45 kilograms of urea, that is kgs of urea. And even one more advantage here is it will also reduces the transport cost. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to remember. And now let us try to see the next topic. It is about Rafales, Scorpions and jet engine development on agenda of Prime Minister's France trip. So this article is also important from your science and technology, and even it is important from your international relations, because we are talking about India-France relations. So we're talking about context why it is in news, because our Prime Minister is going to visit France soon on this Bastille Day parade. And in this meet, he is going to focus on Rafales, he is going to focus on Scorpions and as well as engine jet. Okay, jet engine or engine jet. Okay, so this is the thing that we are going to have the focus in this PM's visit to France. So if we're talking about India-France relations, so if you're talking about especially economic ties, so India and France, they're having the good economic ties, and France, it is the 9th largest investor in India. So trade surplus has been in India's favor for the past 10 years, from the last 10 years onwards. Yes, here we are focusing on the trade surplus. So we are already having exports or more competitive of imports from this France, and more than 150 Indian companies, they are operating in France. Okay, and more than 25 French R&D centers, it is research and development centers, they are located in India. So this is about economic ties between India and as well as France. So in the recent years, these two countries, that is India and France, they have strengthened their cooperation in the different fields. So which are those fields? The first one here is defense, second one is space, third one is trade. And in this context here, our Prime Minister visit to France is expected to focus on strengthening of partnership between the two countries. Especially we are focusing to improve our strengthening of the bond between India and France, especially in the field of defense and as well as security. And as you all know that France, it is also one of the important key partner for India, and it is also supporting for permanent membership in UNSC in UNSC as well. And even if you see here, we are focusing on especially to come up with the number of defense projects with France, and we are focusing on development of fighter jets and as well as submarines. So in addition to this defense cooperation, here now India and France, they are also expecting to discuss ways to enhance their trade and as well as economic ties. And France, it is one of the most important major trading partners in Europe as well. And we are also going to focus on other areas like technology, renewable energy, pharmaceuticals, etc. So this is about this topic, and these are some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So now let us try to see the Hindu PDF so that you can understand whether there are any articles which are important apart from the things that I discussed now. This is the today's Hindu newspaper PDF, and the date here is July 11th and today is Tuesday. So now let us try to find out the articles which are important. So first one here is rain continues to pound North India, toll rises to 25. So as I said in the yesterday's analysis that there is increasing of rainfall or the torrential rainfall in the northern part of our country. So this rain, it is continuing, and because of this rainfall there is increased incidence of landslips. So because of this landslip, there is increasing of death, it rises to 25. So here there are some important areas that said. So you have to see the map pointing of these places like Lahul, Spiti, Kulu districts of Himachal Pradesh, etc. And here if you move on, in this city page you can see article, it is regarding the river Yamuna. So river Yamuna inching closer to danger mark. So because of heavy rainfall in the northern part of India, the tributaries which are flowing into this Yamuna, they are overflowing, and because of this we can see there is increasing of water level in river Yamuna. So here you have to see where is this river Yamuna originated and the tributaries of river Yamuna. And if you move on, here you can see this article, it is regarding urban India is reclaiming the spaces for its communities. So go through this article so that you can understand how we can go for social interactions and how we can promote the recreation by utilizing the spaces. And in this editorial page, I discussed about artificial intelligence article, I discussed Chandrayaan article, and as well as women reproductive autonomy article. And in this opinion page, there is one article that is regarding the wastewater. So don't waste the wastewater, that is wastewater treatment. So here you have to see what are the technologies which are present regarding the utilization of wastewater. And in the text and context, I discussed about this topic regarding global south, and I also discussed this topic regarding why there are the rights in the France, and I discussed this topic regarding palliative care for the non-communicable diseases. And here you can see one article, it is regarding Center instructs Manipur, Mizoram to record biometrics of illegal migrants by September. So go through this article once. And here you can see about this article regarding Article 370. So on August 5th and 6th in 2019, government came up with one remarkable decision of dilution of this Article 370 and Article 35A. Okay, so go through this article once. And here you can see this article that Supreme Court seeks government response on plea to protect wetlands. So wetlands are very, very important, and they are helpful for providing the ecological services. So here you have to see how can we save these wetlands, and I discussed this topic regarding urea and as well as Rathod, scorpions, etc. And here in this world page you can see Solomon Islands and China, they signed deals on police, economy and technology. So you have to see this, and this topic is very important, and you have to see the location of Solomon Islands, where exactly located. And in economy page or business page you can see this topic regarding direct tax. Net direct tax collections raised 16% to 4.75 lakh crore. So here you have to see different types of taxes. So these are some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So if you like this video, so please subscribe to Rathod's IAS and hit the like button and share this video for your friends as well. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, and we will meet in the next session.